Somaliland is based, and its vision is based on 3 pillars. And these 3 pillars are democracy and stability. That's number one. Number two is security and economic opportunity. Number three is recognition that will add progress to these former 2 points. So if I just give a little breakdown of these 3 points, the first one is Somaliland as a proven, stable, and pro-Western democracy. As we know, and we all know, Somaliland is unique in the region for its free elections, peaceful transfers of power, and robust civil society. It also defied regional trends of instability and democratic backsliding. Somaliland rejected bids from US adversaries in the region, including China, and maintaining ties with Taiwan. We also built stability and security without heavy reliance on foreign aid. Somaliland also offers a stable, pro-Western partner to the United States and all allies. That's pillar number one. If I have time, I will ask the pillar number two and the pillar number three very quickly so that our audience know what we are talking about. Pillar number two is strategic security and economic opportunity for the United States and our other potential partners. For some, Somaliland's location, infrastructure, and security posture directly advance U.S. interests in the Horn of Africa, the Red Sea, and beyond. So the maritime, for example, is a very critical maritime security and counterterrorism. We offer modern port and logistics infrastructure like Berbera, which is already attracting foreign investments. U.S. military and U.S. diplomatic engagements already ongoing, and recognition will only formalize and strengthen these already existing partnerships. And recognition will actually unlock access to finance, trade, and investment for American businesses and also for businesses of other partners, including critical minerals and energy. The third pillar is recognition, which will be a catalyst for regional stability and partnership and progress. U.S. recognition of Somaliland will be unlocking the country's full potential and accelerating development and contributing to greater regional stability. The state of Israel's recognition has already reshaped the diplomatic landscape, opening doors wider for international engagement. So broader in recognition will also remove barriers imposed by One Somalia policy and allowing Somaliland to fully participate in the global economy, in banking and development. It will enable effective coordination on security and counterterrorism with the US and its allies. Somaliland's claim is not secession. Somaliland is not a separatist. It is a restoration of colonial borders formally acknowledged and recognized by the African Union in the African Union Charter. Recognition will therefore will not bring destabilization, and many people argue, but rather it would rather close gaps exploited by adversaries and support sustained U.S. engagement in the Middle East has actually elevated the strategic importance of Somaliland. Because when you close the Strait of Hormuz, which is a choke point, and then the importance of Bab el-Mandeb and the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden becomes very, very, very important and a very critical alternative that has to be maintained. The safety and security of that choke point have to be maintained. So Somaliland has actually become more important. And we can see already some shipping lines have already rerouting their shipping maritime lines from other areas to Somaliland. Like recently, for the first time, a Saudi maritime company has actually opened a line to Berbera. So you can see that already activity are starting. Many companies and shipping lines are rerouting to Berbera. So the war, I think, has actually elevated the importance and the critical strategic importance of Berbera, like my colleagues have said.
Oh, thank you. Uh, one or two of you mentioned that the current diplomatic presence in Somaliland consists of constituents of hosts of their embassies in Somalia. Am I correct in what I heard? So I guess my question there is, what is the position of the government of Somalia on this whole issue? Just out of curiosity, Ambassador Goth, can you address that?
I think every country is free and independent to take their own foreign policy as the way they like to practice. They are sovereign countries and they can open an embassy or a diplomatic office anywhere they want. So we have diplomatic offices in Hargeisa from several European countries and Arab countries, and Taiwan, which has an official diplomatic office in Hargeisa. And they I know that the European offices, they report to their embassies in that's basically assigned to Somalia. Most of them are based in Nairobi, and they report to that. But they have separate assignment for Somaliland. So usually they do the work here. They are they work like embassies. But sometimes the official embassy will come and visit Somaliland, and they work like a consulate. So Somalia doesn't have, I don't know, probably they don't like it, and they claim Somaliland to be part of Somalia, part and parcel of Somalia, but there's not little they can do, because we have been 35 years now independent. They have no control over Somaliland, and the international community has to deal with Somaliland on security, on economy, and anywhere else.
Okay, I have one more question before we go to the audience Q&A, and this is sort of a security military question, and that is, reference was made to the Israelis looking at Somaliland as being a platform that puts them closer to the Houthis in Yemen. But that also would make Somaliland a target for Yemeni retaliation. Has anyone sort of factored in the security impact for Somaliland of having U.S. Israeli presence, especially military presence, in that country that close to the Houthis, for example? Ambassador Goth.
Yeah, thank you. Until now, after the recognition, for 35 years, we have been struggling for recognition. 35 years. And when you have been fighting that much, struggling that long for recognition, when you get recognition from a friendly country like State of Israel, we know that every country has its own security and economic interests. So countries establish relationships because their interests align, and then that's how relations are built. So you definitely Somaliland knew that there were security risks with our establishing relations with Israel, and once we have and full diplomatic relations with Israel, I mean, our president have yet to go to Israel, and go there, and they have to formalize the whole thing. We have appointed an ambassador to Israel. We're still waiting for Israel to appoint their ambassador, because the war in the Middle East has disrupted everything, in the whole region. But so Israel, until now they don't have a security office or security unit or basing in Somaliland. They don't have it. Okay, but in future, when everything is formalized and the two countries work together, then it's an open space. We can have security cooperation, economic cooperation, and everything else, and that comes within the package. The risk is usually comes within the package, and they have to be calculated, and every country actually considers what kind of risks they can take, and that's part of the deal, I think.
Great, thank you. I'd like to move now to questions from our audience. This first question is for Ambassador Bashir. How likely is U.S. recognition of Somaliland in your assessment within this year?
I think that question should be addressed to the United States government and administration. But I can say one thing. For example, I can give one example. Usually recognition, the most difficult step for recognition is the first country. And we have been waiting, as I said, 35 years for the first country to make a move. And we have that now. And for us as Somalilanders, the second one or the third one is not a big deal actually, because we waited for 35 years. I am sure we are not going to wait for another 35 years to get the second and third. If I give an example, for example, Bangladesh. When India India was the first country to unilaterally recognize Bangladesh in 1971. The United States recognized Bangladesh after 1 year. And then the Muslim world, like Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, we were deadly against the separation of Bangladesh from Pakistan. It took them 3 to 4 years to recognize. So, the recognition will come. The most difficult step was breaking the glass barrier. And we have broken that glass barrier. So everything else is just a matter of time.
Right. Well, thank you. The next question here, this is a long question, so I'm going to try and summarize it. Needless to say, it's a pretty rough neighborhood. Border land disputes, Al-Shabaab, ISIS at Puntland immediately next door, and Ansar Allah right across the Gulf of Aden. The Israelis have clear geopolitical and military interests in having a presence, but isn't this a tempting target for Israel and U.S.'s enemies? This is sort of related to the last question that I asked. Doesn't Somaliland development and peaceful democratic institution building get lost in the shuffle of all this? Let's start with you, Ambassador Goth, and then one of our other panelists to take a crack at that.
As I said, Somaliland's existence and vision is actually based on 3 pillars, as I said earlier, and that's democracy and stability, and security and economic opportunity. And recognition will just strengthen and empower and give more growth to these 2 pillars. So for 35 years, we have been actually contributing to the peace and stability of the region. And we have been building our institutions, democratic institutions, our governmental institutions, and everything without much international support. So I think, you cannot, for example, nobody can deny Somaliland and say why you have chosen Israel to be the first country to recognize you. We were knocking all doors of the international community, the Arab world, the African Union, and everywhere else. So any country in the world that's a member of the United Nations that recognizes Somaliland is a great welcome for us. So the state of Israel, actually, we were very thankful that they have come on board, and we have, I think, mutual interest, the security and economic interest is that we can work together.
And Ambassador Goth?
I think both Michael and Joshua have actually presented good points and need points, but I will add only one point, that is we have very good, great relations with our neighboring country, Ethiopia, which is the most numerous country in Africa, as you know. And Israel, the state of Israel, have also good relations with Ethiopia. So the only country that counts for us in that region is actually Ethiopia, which we already have actually great relations. As I said earlier, Israel would add a great counterweight to what we were facing in the region, because all the other mid-power states that we were playing the game in the Horn of Africa, with the exception of the UAE, were against Somaliland. So almost we were squeezed from all sides. So Israel have given us that counterweight that we needed. And as Joshua said, Israel is an advanced country in military technology, in economy, in agriculture, in water. And they're already engaging with Somaliland in these areas. We have already some water engineers that have been that went to for training to Israel. More than 40 young people went there. Another batch will be going soon. So already the economic cooperation is going on. I think Somaliland had made a very, very strategic and excellent decision to have got recognition from the state of Israel.
Okay, here's a question for you, Ambassador Goth. Is the president of Somaliland expected to visit Washington, D.C. at all?
Yeah, he will visit. I cannot say the date now, but yes, he will visit.
Okay. And one final question. What is the likelihood that Somaliland will sign the Abraham Accords, and is there a discussion about Somaliland becoming a signatory?
We already said that in numerous times we are going to be part and member of the Abrahamic Accords, even before the recognition of the State of Israel of Somaliland. We actually expressed our wish to be part of the Abrahamic Accords. So we were almost like you say Abrahamic Accords plus. So we were in the plus. Nobody knew us. We were on the sidelines. So now, if the United States recognize Somaliland, definitely will automatically join the Abrahamic Accords.